and go to the NFC North backfields, and this is where I think it gets a little more interesting and just I think all these backfields are honestly like really good.
Yeah,
And
the NFC North has probably the second best in backfields, other than the NFC East. The backfields are amazing in this division.
yeah, no, and there's like not just I think it's both like there's teams that have the upper echelon running backs like the Vikings and Packers, and then the Lions and Bears have like tons of depth. Maybe they're like starters, not like top 5, but they have other guys that are really serviceable too. So I could just read the backfields off before we even talk about them. So the Bears backfield is David Montgomery, Damian Williams, Tariq Cohen. Packers have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Vikings, Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison. And then the Lions have DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. But Abdul, who do you have as the 4th best backfield in the NFC North?
At number 4, I have DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams of the Lions.
Okay, interesting. Why?
I like DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift had a good rookie year. He was very injury prone. He had the concussions. He was pretty solid though. He in the receiving game as well. He looks to be a dual threat running back. And then Jamal Williams, I liked Jamal Williams a lot when he was on the Packers. His energy, everything. I think that he's another solid option in the backfield. But I think that when you compare them to obviously the upper echelon running backs in Aaron Jones and Dalvin Cook, he's not at that tier yet. Obviously, just finishing his rookie season. But I think that he has great potential, but still I'd put the other 3 running back cores above him.
Yeah, so I actually agree with you on this one. And I went back and forth because I like DeAndre Swift probably more than I like Montgomery just in the future and what I think his potential could be. But there's only 2 of them, and that's my thing. Like, I love Jamal Williams. Obviously, he was a former Packer, and he was great running, great receiving, amazing pass blocker, did it all, never fumbled, brought energy and swag that no one else really brought. So that was always awesome. But they only have 2 guys, and that's where I'm like, okay, if Swift goes down, like I worry about what they're going to do because unless they want to feed Jamal Williams over 25 times a game, which they can, it's just I don't know if he's best suited for that. That's where my issues come in. But yeah, DeAndre Swift running and catching is really solid. And I'm interested to see what they do with, because obviously we mentioned Anthony Lynn's there. So they're probably going to run the ball more than they did last year. And they've solidified their whole line, Decker, Ragnow, and Penei Sewell. Like,
I think he's set for a great year. I think 1,000 yards rushing is respectable for him.
And I think Williams could probably get 800 to 900 like rushing all and receiving. Yard. Yeah,
I can see that too.
Yeah, so I think both these guys combined will do really good. But we can go to the 3rd team now. And who do you have as the 3rd best running back?
I have the Bears as my 3rd best backfield. I had this take that I was going to take to the grave with me. I had them at number 1 because I was insisting that they had the best depth because they had playoff Damian, aka Super Bowl MVP, playoff Damian Williams. They had Tariq Cohen, and they have David Montgomery, who was a top 5 rusher last year and also top 5 in all-purpose yards. But toning down my expectations as well as the David Montgomery is not close to the likes of Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones. I think those 2 are a level above him. Also with Tariq Cohen is rehabbing an ACL injury, so that's a little bit of a concern. But then you have Damian Williams, who's coming in to provide solid depth. We also drafted a running back, Khalil Herbert, and we got a undrafted free agent, CJ Marable. So our backfield depth-wise is looking good. I like depth, but when you're considering talent as well and production into it, I think that the other 2 are above them.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I like Montgomery. I don't know if he'll have as many yards as he did last year just because he was getting an absurd value.
Yeah.
He was getting like over 20 to 25.
Yeah,
carries.
Towards the end of the season, he was getting 25, 30 around that. Yeah, he was getting fed.
Yeah, and he did a really good job. Like, don't get us wrong, but I don't think he'll do that again this year. And I think he's just not nearly as explosive as the other 2 guys and that type of athlete to where you can warrant them. But obviously, Damian Williams in the playoffs has been a beast. And I think he's like, as a number 2 or even number 3, like you throw him in there and you can trust him that, he's going to make the right play. He seems to make just clutch and just Like when you need
Yeah.
a play, he'll make one. Like he's really good. And then obviously Cohen is a really, really good receiving back. Hopefully he can come back healthy. Running, I guess, obviously due to size, he can't really run between the
Yeah.
tackles and all that. But like as a receiving threat, he's one of the best, and that's missed. And then Khalil Herbert, I really liked him out of Virginia Tech. He was one of my favorite guys that I kind of wanted the Packers to get in like the fifth or sixth round. Now they ended up getting someone else, but
Kylan Hill,
Herbert could be really good, and he's a really good receiving threat too.
Yeah, I think that's all fair.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think they're maybe a little better than the Lions, but I think they're almost like they're near interchangeable, like just how good both of them are. And then who do you have as the second